Emily Miller was 22 and had just graduated from college. She returned home to a small town in Oregon, ready to start the next chapter of her life. Her mother, Susan, ran a small bakery, and her father, Daniel, worked as a mechanic. Life had been simple, predictable, and peaceful, until her mother received a call one Friday afternoon that made her drop her mixing spoon and cover her mouth in shock. It was her brother, Uncle Mark, calling after nearly 10 years of silence. Emily barely remembered him. He had moved away after a misunderstanding with her dad that no one really talked about. All she knew was that something had driven a deep wedge between the brothers. And now, after so long, he was coming back. Emily could sense her parents' mixed emotions, relief, nervousness, and a quiet kind of sadness. "He said he wants to make things right," her mom whispered, her eyes misty. "I think we should let him." The next morning, Emily helped tidy up the house. Her mom baked extra loaves of bread and pies, the kind Uncle Mark used to love. When his car finally pulled into the driveway, Emily watched from the window, feeling both curious and cautious. He stepped out, a tall man in his late 40s, wearing a worn leather jacket and holding a small wooden box. His hair was flecked with gray, and his face looked tired, but when he saw Emily, his eyes softened. "Emily?" he asked, almost as if he couldn't believe how much she'd grown. She nodded shyly. "Hi, Uncle Mark." The first few minutes were quiet. Her father came to the door, and the air turned heavy. For a long time, neither brother spoke. Then, Uncle Mark said something unexpected. "I was wrong to leave. I want to fix things." Her dad didn't reply right away. But after a pause, he nodded. "Come in." That simple invitation felt like a bridge rebuilt after years of silence. Over the next few days, Uncle Mark became a part of their lives again. He helped fix the old swing in the backyard and even repaired the bakery's delivery van. Emily was surprised at how kind and gentle he was. He had a quiet way of showing care, like leaving small notes of encouragement near the coffee pot or mending things without being asked. One evening, while Emily was cleaning up the kitchen, he walked in carrying that same wooden box. "Emily," he said softly, "I have something for you." He placed the box on the table. Inside was a small, hand-carved bird. "I made this when you were little," he explained. "You probably don't remember, but I used to carve wooden toys for you." Emily's eyes widened. "It's beautiful, thank you," he smiled. "I kept making them over the years, even when we weren't talking. It reminded me of home." Over the next week, Emily learned more about what had really happened years ago. Her father and uncle had started a small business together, but after a disagreement about money and pride, Mark had walked away, feeling betrayed. Time and distance made things worse until both sides stopped talking altogether. One night, the whole family sat around the dinner table as Uncle Mark finally shared his truth. "I thought walking away would protect me from pain," he admitted. "But it only made me lonelier. I missed every birthday, every Christmas, every moment that mattered." Her dad listened quietly before finally saying, "We all make mistakes. I missed you too." That night ended in a quiet hug, one that seemed to erase 10 years of hurt. Days turned into weeks, and Mark started spending time at the bakery. He helped paint new signs, introduced new recipes, and even designed shelves for display. Customers noticed the change. The place felt warmer, more alive. Emily loved seeing her parents laugh with him again. Then one afternoon, Mark gathered everyone in the living room. He looked emotional. "There's something else I need to tell you," he began. "I'm sick. Nothing too dramatic, but the doctors say I need to slow down. That's why I came home. I didn't want to waste any more time being apart." The room fell silent. Emily's eyes filled with tears. She didn't know what to say. Her mother reached out and held his hand. "Then you'll stay here," she said. "You're not going anywhere." And he did. Over the next few months, their home became a place of healing and laughter again. Uncle Mark started teaching Emily how to carve wood like he used to. Every evening, they'd sit on the porch, working together while the sun dipped behind the trees. One night, as they finished a small wooden heart, he handed it to her. "Promise me one thing," he said. "Never let pride get in the way of love. Family is worth more than being right." Emily nodded, tears glistening in her eyes. "I promise." Time passed, and though Mark's health declined, he never lost his smile. When he eventually passed peacefully a year later, he left behind more than memories. He left behind lessons in forgiveness, love, and the importance of family. In his will, he left Emily the wooden box filled with all his carvings, along with a note that read, "Greater than, for every year I missed, I made something with my hands to remind myself of what really matters. Now it's your turn to keep making beautiful things, and to never stop forgiving." Years later, Emily opened her own workshop beside the bakery, Mark's Woodworks. She taught kids how to carve, sharing her uncle's story with everyone who walked through the door. Whenever someone asked about the little bird that sat on her counter, she'd smile and say, "That's from my uncle, the man who taught me that love always deserves a second chance." And every evening, she still sat on that same porch, carving small hearts as the sun set, knowing he'd be proud.